Well, hey crafty friends, it's Hiedi Scott with DIY Dreaming, and on this video tutorial, I'm going to show you an easy way to make acorns, and I'm going to tell you how I did them before, but I think this way is the easiest. So, as you're hopping on, say hi, let me know where you're watching from, let me know if you have any questions along the way. Hi Debbie, feel free to sprinkle, 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 all that normal jazz. Okay, so these were the acorns that you guys fell in love with, or that a lot of you have been asking me, how do you make these acorns? And I suppose we could try, you want to do these ones real quick? Let me just grab some zip ties. You could use a rubber band as well if you want. You can use whatever kind of fabric you want. These are kind of like the rubber band pumpkins, but the other ones I'm going to show you in a few minutes, they involve Easter eggs, and they're so super simple. Okay, so what you would do if you're doing it this method is you're just going to take your fabric, and you could do a little loop. If you do the loop first, that might make it easier. So I'm just putting some hot glue on here, just so we have a tube, I guess is a better description of it, okay? And I do recommend that you use low temperature glue for these projects because you're gonna be handling them. Okay, and then, oops, I forgot. Let me think. Yeah, I needed to turn it wrong side out. I haven't done them this other way, which honestly is a little bit harder than the way I'm going to show you in a bit. Okay, so I have my tube that's turned wrong side out, and I'm going to take a little teeny zip tie. You can use a rubber band or you could use a needle and thread, it's up to you. And I'm going to just scrunch this end of it up real tight, and I'm going to put my zip tie on here and my glasses on so I can see what I'm doing. Where does it go? I know somebody's going to ask me, where did I get these little teeny weeny zip ties? I'll show you what they look like, but I don't know where they came from. I'm so sorry. You could use a big zip tie too, or a rubber band, like I said, or you could sew this. Okay, so this is what these little teeny zip ties look like. They're DiyDreaming brand. And this is the back. Oops, my fingers are right in the way. Okay, so I have my little zip tie. Let me get some cruddy scissors so I can cut this tail off of our little zip tie. And then we're going to turn it right side out. And this is basically what it's going to look like. Okay, then grab some polyfill. This is the polyfill I'm using right now. It came from Walmart. It was under $10. This polyfill I really like a lot, and let me tell you why. Okay, it's called Crafter's Choice Polyfill Dry Polyester Packing Fiber Fill. And it's 20 ounces, whatever that means. It's stiffer than some of the other polyfill that I've had in the past. That's why I like it a little bit better. Okay, so I'm gonna just cram some polyfill in the bottom of this. And then we can use another zip tie on the outside, or if you want a sewing needle and thread to stitch that up, or a rubber band. This part is going to be the top and it's going to be hidden. So that's why we did the first one wrong side out. I think this could use a little bit more. Okay, Kelly Dawn says that she saw all different sizes of zip ties at, did you say Home Depot? Yeah, at Home Depot. Okay, so I just filled it a little bit fuller and I'm just gonna cinch the top up. But it's gonna be hidden, so don't worry. What I think personally really makes this project is the quilt batting top. And I'll show you how to make the little stem and how to do all of that. That part of the project is the same, no matter, I can't see what I'm doing. Hi, Pat. Hey, Kari. Happy fall from Kari Blonde Haraska. I don't know how to say your last name. Said happy fall from New York. And boy, I tell you what, it feels like fall in Atlanta, which I'm so excited about. Yeah, I'm definitely ready for fall. Okay, so I'm gonna just do this however tight I can. And then cut that off with my pretty scissors. Okay, don't worry about this, it's gonna be hidden. All right, then what I think is the magic, not magic, what I think really makes this project special, that's something weird happening here, is using quilt batting. Okay, I don't have the wrapper for this anymore, but it's just your basic quilt batting. Funny story, this came from Walmart and I wasn't paying attention when I bought it, but this quilt batting is microwavable. So I'm guessing that people who were making those pockets that you heat potatoes in and that kind of thing, that this would be the kind of batting that you could use inside of that. All right, and we just want a circle, and it really doesn't even matter. Let's start. I'm just gonna start right here. This does have a little teeny bit of sewing. We're just gonna do a running stitch around the top of this. And I'm honestly not sure how big to make it for this one that I have going on right now. We'll figure it out together. So I don't have any, like, I haven't measured anything. I don't have any for sure sizes, but I can tell you, let's go back and I can tell you for this one. Okay, this one right here was, it was 5.5 inches tall. And then I would guess it was probably about 10 inches wide. And the circle that we're making our little cap, that's gonna be way too big. Let's make this a little bit, let me make it a little bit smaller, and then we'll, I'll measure it. And this is just one of those eyeball projects. There's no pattern. And everyone's gonna probably look different. Let me see, how's that gonna work? That's perfect. Okay, so this is, except it's not a circle. Okay, this one is 4 3/4 diameter, all right? And what you're gonna do, you've got your little circle of quilt batting, you're gonna fold it in half and you're gonna take a little snip out of the center. Okay, can you guys see that? Just one little snip. And then we're gonna make the stem. And the bigger your acorn, I suppose, the bigger you would want to make your little stem. So, I think this is gonna be way too big. Yeah, it is. It's gonna be way too tall. And it's also gonna be, okay, so this is what I've gotten down to. And let me tell you, that's 1 3/4 inches long by 1 1/4 inches tall. And I'm just gonna roll it up. Then we're gonna put a little bit of hot glue on here to secure it. So we have a little kind of messy tube. I like to put the side that's less perfect, see that, on the top. Okay, and then we're gonna decide which side we want this to be. we're just gonna poke our little tube up through our hole. And now we gotta figure out, see, this is gonna be the top. We gotta figure out how we're gonna keep it there. And what I did was I just took a little piece of quilt batting, roughly a square, and I put glue, hot glue, around my, where my little stem is poking out, and then I put some glue on this also. Let me move my little cake board over here so that I am not constantly moving my glue gun back and forth. Okay, so I'm just gonna put some glue around the outside and then a little bit of glue right here. And then I'm taking this little piece and I'm just going to poke it on here. And that's what the underneath looks like. It will be totally hidden, and this is what the top looks like. And hopefully this piece is not gonna come out. Okay, now here's the hard part, and this is the part that's gonna be exactly the same for the other egg, the other style of egg. The hardest part for me is threading my needle. No, the hardest part is doing a running stitch. So in case you have never done that before, I'll show you exactly what it is, but I suspect that most of you guys have done some sewing or hemming or making ruffles of some sort, and so you know what this is. Probably did not need to be that long, and I don't need to have a huge needle. But I'm just gonna put a knot, and I'm using 2, so it's 2 thickness. It's, you know, a thread doubled. And I did want to mention, I don't know if you guys saw when we made these little needle books. They're great. I never used to be able to find any of my needles, and now I can easily. So I'll dig out this video and I'll put it in the comments if you want to know how to make one of these. They're called needle books. Okay, so all we're gonna do is start on the back and bring our thread through, and then you're just gonna go in, out, or underneath, on top. I'll show you up close. This needle is not very sharp. Okay, like this. Can you see what I'm saying? And then you just pull your needle through and continue on. So talk amongst yourself for just a second while I finish this. It doesn't take long at all. And you can go however close to the edge you want or far away. It's totally personal preference. Oh, and the other thing is you can use absolutely whatever kind of fabric you want. And I was thinking that these would be beautiful done with velvet or velveteen or whatever that stuff is. But you could use, like, I'm going to show you this one. And it was made using some of that fabric that I got from the Fat Quarters from Walmart a few weeks ago. So we could also, if we had wanted, we could use some of the fabric that we made, that we stenciled yesterday on canvas duck fabric. So there's this project can be made your very own in so many different ways. We're getting there. This was coming up with these acorns. This was one of my things where I really didn't know how I was going to do it, so I just kind of did what I thought would work. I don't know if either one of these ways are how other crafters might make acorns, but this is what worked for me. Okay, so you're gonna get this little piece that looks like a little hat. and this is the top of your acorn. The smaller your acorn is, the smaller you're gonna want this to be. And what I did to get it started was I just glued this center on my little piece. So I opened my little hat up and put it on there. And then you can cinch it up and figure out exactly how tight or not you want that to be. And I'm gonna do a little knot just to finish this off. So our little cap, our little acorn cap is attached to the top of my little tube. And then you can pull the acorn cap down as far as you would like. And I just tacked it down in a couple of places and it was super easy. Let me see, I need some more glue. These aren't going to get handled very much, so I don't think that you really need to do a super heavy duty glue job on them, but that is up to you, what you want to do, how much glue you want to use to put the little cap on them. We could have even put a little bit more fluff inside, but dun, dun, dun. Here's our first acorn. And these were the ones that I made earlier. So on this one, you can see I used the blue and cream ticking for the top, which you can do, and then this is just plain canvas duck. But I think using the quilt batting is tons cuter. That's just my personal idea. Okay, so that is one way. The other way to do this is to take an Easter egg. If your fabric is thick enough, you can do any color Easter egg. It could be even one of those ones that come apart that you can put candy in. But we're just gonna use this one. And there, it can be whatever size, you know. I'm gonna use a bigger one. All right. And then we're going to cut out a circle that can go almost to the top. I'm just looking to see how big I need this to be. Okay, I'm probably going to trim this down a little bit, but okay, and to make a circle, generally I'll fold my fabric into fourths, and then I'll just essentially connect one corner to the other with a little bit of a rainbow shape at the top. Sometimes that works and I get a nice circle. Other times it doesn't work so great and I get a weird oval, which is kind of the case right now, but it really doesn't matter. So what do you guys think so far? Thank you for sprinkling, Alice. I really appreciate that. Hey, Susie. Okay, so I'm going to start out by putting my egg in the center with just a little blob of glue. Hey, and if these comments here on Facebook are bothering you, you should be able to swipe them up or down or side to side and they should go away. And then you can pull them back, doing the same thing, either with your finger, your mouse, or your cursor, depending on what device you're on. Okay, so I have my little circle connected to the bottom. And what I did was I just went up on 4 sides. So I essentially just did this side, pulled it up, and put a blob of glue on this side, and pull it up. Ooh, I didn't center that very well. Do this one, and do this one, and then I'm gonna, and this is what you get, and then I'm gonna do the same thing with the little bit in between. If you want, you could do a running stitch and it would be, you know, probably nicer, but I'm looking for the easiest, quickest way to make acorns because I want to make a whole bunch of them. Okay, and then these little loose bits, I'm just going to put a little glue underneath them and push them down. This part's going to be completely covered up, so it really does not matter. Look at my fingers. My fingernails are really doing poorly because of all the hot glue I've used in the last 24 hours. Okay, so here's our little egg with the little round hot glued up on the top of it. Let's cut another top out of our quilt batting. This is a little bit smaller, so I don't need quite as big. I'm just folding it in half, and then I'm just gonna connect either side with like a rainbow shape. And we get another weird oval. Oh well. Okay, so we have the top for our acorn. Let me look at it and make sure it's not going to be huge. It's a little big. Let's make it a little bit smaller. Okay, and then I'm going to fold it in half and I'm going to do the little snip where our stem is going to go. If you guys missed this from the very beginning, you might want to come back when we're done here with this live and watch it again on replay because I show everything. There's 2 different ways to make these. Oh wow, there's 420 people on. Hey everyone, thanks so much for joining me. Okay, I'm gonna roll my little acorn stem first, put a little blob of glue on it, roll into that. I'm gonna stick it through my little hole that we've snipped. And we're gonna do the exact same thing to attach it. So I need a little square of some sort. And I'll put a little band of glue all the way around the stem on the underneath, and then a little bit of glue on the stem. And then I'm just gonna attach that, basically. That's the underneath and here's the top. And it's pretty secure. Okay, same deal. Where is my sewing? My needle. Can I use this? No, it's not long enough. So, you could use brown felt. Oh my goodness, and I probably have some. That is a brilliant idea, Donna, thank you. I mean, like I said, you can, now that you have some different ideas of how to do it, or maybe you did before, I don't know, but you can do your acorns however you like, in whatever colors, textures, all of that you like. And instead of if you did the acorn with the brown felt, you might want to use a dark colored thread, or maybe not. Maybe you want to use a light colored thread. I have so much glue on my fingers. but it is a little hard to work with this. Okay, so I'm gonna start from the underneath and we're gonna do the exact same thing we did last time. I'll try to do it a little quicker. If you guys do acorns, any color, any style, I would love to see pictures. And I know everybody else would too. So you can share those here, or you can share them over at Dreamy DIY, which is that free group I set up for all of us to be able to share our craft projects over there. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, it's Dreamy, D-R-E-A-M-Y, and then there's a space, DIY. That's the name of my free group. Just put that in your search box on Facebook and it should take you there. Ask to join the group. It's gonna ask you a couple questions. Do you promise to be nice? Do you promise that you won't use that group to try to sell stuff? And do you promise that you won't share other crafters' videos in that group? And if you say yes, then we'll say, come on in. And that's all there is to it. And then if you've never been there before, I recommend that you just sit down and click on the photos tab and just look back through all the photos that have been shared there, because there's some amazing things. Okay, here's our little acorn cap. And I'm gonna do the same thing. I'm gonna glue it to the top of my covered Easter egg. Just this little square right here. And then I'm gonna kind of push it down and pull my gathering stitch, or what are the other names for this stitch? Running stitch, whatever you want to call this. Pull that tight, do a quick knot. And then I'm going to tack it down in just a couple of places. And you can fiddle with your, where there are ruffles to get it all even, all the way around. Oh my gosh, this one's so cute. I like this combination. I love orange. Okay, so here are the two orange Easter egg acorns that I made. What do you think? Aren't they cute? So, so, so easy. So just to summarize, you can use any fabric you want. I used quilt batting for the top, but somebody suggested brown felt. So you can do this whatever you want. These ones, I made a little tube that I closed with a zip tie and on both ends, and then we did the same little cap, and inside of this is polyfill, inside of this one is an Easter egg, and that's pretty much it. So if you like this project, feel free to sprinkle, sprinkle, sprinkle. That is how my page grows, and that is really the best thing you can do to help me grow this DIY dreaming business. If you have questions, let me know. Hop over if you want to Dreamy DIY and ask to join that free group. Look through the photos. But you're welcome to post photos of your acorns if you make some here as well. So I hope you liked this. It is such a fun and easy project. And I betcha that you have some old Easter eggs laying around somewhere that you could use. If not, you probably have some polyfill. And I'm sure you have different kinds of fabric laying around. So you could probably, whip these out just with what you have hanging out at your house right now. Alrighty. Well, thanks so much for joining me. I'll get pictures of these and I'll put them here in the comments. I will also put them just in a separate post here at DIY Dreaming. If you haven't taken 2 seconds over here, if you're watching on Facebook, to like and follow DIY Dreaming, I would encourage you to do that. I also encourage you to put your notifications so it'll tell you whenever I go live. What else? If you do a this or this is better. That's a heart. or say something in the comments, then that kind of increases the odds that Facebook will actually show you my post, because just liking or following a page doesn't mean that you're gonna see it. They only serve my content to like 5% of the total audience at any given time. I don't know. I cannot figure it out. But interacting with a little heart or saying something in the comments and making sure that you've liked and followed and turned on your notifications, those do increase your chances. So I hope you liked these. Let me know if you have any questions. And if you want to know how to do it, go back and watch from the very beginning, because it's super simple, but there's no way I can put all this in writing and explain it in a comment. You just gotta watch the video and have a good rest of your day. I will be live again in just a few minutes, actually. So if you're watching this live, if you want to come back again in maybe 5 minutes, I'll be live with a breast cancer awareness project. Alrighty, see you guys later. Thanks for watching.